Welcome to Biz Thrive, quick hits of business inspo, where in 5 minutes or less, we bring you stories, strategies, and sparks of inspiration to kickstart your day and your business. Here's your host, Zach Lockhart.
What would you do if your business model, one that had worked for decades, was suddenly in danger of becoming obsolete? That was the dilemma that Adobe faced in 2012. For years, Adobe had dominated the creative software market, selling perpetual licenses for products like Photoshop, Illustrator, and Premiere Pro. Creatives and businesses would buy the software once, own it, and upgrade when necessary. It seemed foolproof, until it wasn't. As digital demands evolved, Adobe's one-time purchase model started showing cracks, and competitors began to rise with fresher, more flexible approaches. The question for Adobe was, should they stick with the old model or risk a major overhaul that could alienate loyal customers? In 2013, Adobe made a decision that would reshape not only their business, but the entire software industry. They shifted from selling standalone software to offering cloud-based subscriptions through Adobe Creative Cloud. Instead of a one-off payment, customers would now pay a monthly or annual fee to access Adobe's entire suite of tools. It was a risky move. Long-time users weren't happy at first. Many had invested heavily in owning perpetual licenses and disliked the idea of being locked into a continuous payment plan. Some feared that Adobe was chasing profits at the expense of customers. But Adobe's leadership had a clear vision. They knew that this shift could unlock a more predictable revenue stream, increase accessibility for smaller businesses, and drive more frequent updates and improvements. The old model required users to purchase costly upgrades to get new features. But now, Adobe could roll out updates as soon as they were ready, ensuring customers always had access to the latest tools without additional costs. The subscription model also made Adobe's products more accessible. A small startup or freelance designer could now afford to use Photoshop or Premiere Pro without an expensive upfront cost. It was a win-win for both Adobe and its customers, even though it didn't seem that way to everyone at first. After an initial dip in revenue and pushback from users, Adobe's subscription service took off. Their recurring revenue model made their financials more stable and predictable, and over the following years, the company's stock price skyrocketed. By 2021, Adobe Creative Cloud boasted over 26 million subscribers, and the company's market cap soared past $300 billion. So, what can we learn from Adobe's bold pivot? Firstly, that adaptation is key. Adobe recognized that customer demands were changing. Their business model had to evolve in order to stay relevant. Companies can't afford to be static. Whether it's technology, customer preferences, or market conditions, businesses must be willing to change, even if it means disrupting their own model. Secondly, it taught us to think long-term, not short-term. Adobe faced significant backlash when they moved to subscriptions, but they understood the long-term benefits would far outweigh the initial resistance. And finally, that the customer experience matters. Adobe's subscription model was not just about making money. It provided more flexibility for users, continuous access to new features, and lower entry costs for new customers. It's a reminder to us that our business models need to consider customer value at its very core, not just in the bottom line. In the end, Adobe's move to a subscription model was about more than just a shift in pricing. It was a fundamental change in how they delivered value to customers and ensured that they remained indispensable in an ever-evolving industry.
Thanks for listening to Biz Thrive by Ridgeview Guidance. For more business insights and strategies, visit ridgeviewguidance.com and follow us on social media for regular updates.